Welcome back. After a short hiatus, a little break, I'm back in this. I'm back in the podcast game. Hope you've all been well. If you're new here, my name is Warwick, and this is the Mates Rates podcast. I have taken a break for about a month now. And if you are new here and you want to know what this podcast is all about, I talk about internet culture and just everyday funny shit that I think is funny, and hopefully you can laugh too. Basically, I come on here and talk shit for about, 45 minutes every week, and just for people's entertainment, if they just want to switch off and just want to hear me talk and have my hot takes on topics that nobody asks for. So welcome. But yeah, this feels fucking great to be back podcasting again. As I mentioned before, I've been off for about a month, and I normally am doing this every single week. So you're probably wondering where the hell I've been. And if you aren't wondering that, you're going to hear it anyways. So it's honestly not that exciting. I've just been working a shitload. So I can't really call it post-COVID because we're still up in this bitch, aren't we? But basically, I say COVID as I fucking turn away for a cough. That's a good one. Yeah, so basically, I think I've mentioned before in other podcast episodes, my industry, the filmmaking industry, has fucking exploded, and it's been good. It's just been equally exhausting. I've been working on a lot of stuff, and that's why I had to take a break. I had these two really big campaigns. One I did post about online on my personal gram, I guess, or whatever the fuck you want to call it. But there's basically all my other projects I've signed NDAs, but so I don't even know what the extent is that I can talk about of it. So you're just gonna have to take my word for it that I've been working like a motherfucker. But yeah, just been doing a lot of commercial stuff and working really long days. So one of the campaigns, one of the campaigns that I accepted, that I said yes to. Wow, those birds are really loud. This is a great fucking episode to come back on. It was really cool. Did like a whole bunch of studio shots, and like it was basically just a shitload of content for a client that they can post for, I don't know, like a month or a couple of months, I hope, because it was a big day. But I overestimated how much work was going to be in that. And then a combination of that and all my other projects that I already committed to, I had to take a break. And I remember my anxiety was at an all-time high. And I just had to be like, man, I got to put on my adult shoes here, take a break on all my creative stuff and just focus on the work and, this stuff. And don't get me wrong, I love the shit that I've been doing. I just really was not expecting it to be as hectic as it was. So basically, I would work on different campaigns and commercial projects during the day, whether I'd be on set or in an edit at somewhere. And then I'd come back here at night, fucking work on that other campaign. Basically, I was pulling crazy fucking days for a few weeks straight. No weekends and stuff either. So, yeah, and look at me complaining that I've got work when there's still fucking millions of people out of work. So I'm going to stop there and fucking move on. But yeah, that's basically where I've been. I've just honestly been working, nothing too exciting. And I haven't had much time for my own creative stuff. I've got some things in the pipeline that I'm really excited about that I want to kind of obviously do, but I didn't have time for it. Honestly, I'm going to be fucking honest here. I've had time for like the last few weeks, not few weeks, like probably the last 2 weeks to do a podcast episode, to work on this other shit that I want to do. But I was so wrecked from those first few weeks. I was like, you know what? I'm going to take a break on this one. I'm just going to fucking sit around and do nothing and recover. And it was amazing. So, yeah, that's what I've been doing. But I guess, so, yeah, I'm going to be a bit rusty this episode, just FYI. It is Easter long weekend, and I ate a shitload of chocolate, and I hope you did the same. I hope you are in a food coma, because I haven't eaten this much before in my life, and I'm feeling fucking great, to be honest with you. So I have a whole bunch of notes here that I've just written down over the last few weeks that I'm like, I want to talk about. Nothing makes sense. None of it is really cohesive, but I've been trying for the last hour or so to condense it all together in an episode that you might enjoy. All right, so I'm going to crack it off with streaming services. Just for a second, I just want to quickly talk about streaming services. As we know, there is a million of them now, and there just keeps... there's just more and more that are coming out. And I saw this... Kayla and I saw this ad for one, which is called Acorn TV. And I think the whole shtick, like the whole advert for it was like their angle is we do mystery shows. So from what I gathered from their 30-second spot online is that's it. It's just full of like, you know, British mystery shows. Like not even like the cool, crazy like Netflix one, like the Cecil Hotel one and all that type of shit. It's like none of, or, you know, Making a Murderer or Tiger King for that matter, because that's a fucking murder mystery show. But it blew my mind that I was like, that's the angle, and I'm sure there's an audience from it, but I'm sure it's not as big as kind of Netflix or anything like that. But I can't complain with heaps of streaming services coming out, because obviously that's good for me, good for people that are writing and want to get their shit out on streaming services, because now all these streaming services need to have content to, I don't know, show shit. I don't fucking know. I don't know how streaming services work, or I assume it's just like YouTube. You do the video and you put it up, but there's a paywall in front of these ones. So yeah, that's it's like I just didn't understand that angle. But all the best to Acorn TV, and if I ever make like a British murder mystery show, give me a deal. Just leave me a sneaky million. That's fine. So I did mention at the start of this podcast episode, a lot of my content is about the internet space and what's kind of cracking over there. You know, I spend a lot of my time on the internet. So, but I don't know where I was like gonna really start with that. It was a really poor start, so scratch that. But I've been making fun of MGK for a while now, Machine Gun Kelly, savior of the pop punk world. Apparently pop punk didn't exist before MGK came along. So that's my hot take on that. Watch everyone in like the 8-minute mark just click off my analytics. They're just going to be like, nah, don't hate on the boy MGK. But anyways, he released a new video. Well, it's not new. It's probably a few weeks old now. But at the time when I watched it, I was mind blown. So he basically released a 6ix9ine type song where it's like, you know what I'm talking? That's literally every 6ix9ine song. It's just yelling into a microphone, and that somehow built his career. But MGK has taken that angle now. And he did it with his new single. So he's over pop punk. He got that #1 spot, and he was like, remember how you all thought I was here for real for pop punk? Nah, I'll just cash in with my boy Travis Barker, and I've dipped now, going back to my rap, boy. So he released the terrible fucking song, and the music video is even worse. So in this video, I can't remember the name of the song, but I remember watching this and thinking, why? Just why? Like, this doesn't make any sense. So you think in the realm of music videos that they've been around for so long now, there is no more original ideas, okay? everyone's done everything. You know, if you come from like the hardcore punk scene, you know, bands have been playing in abandoned warehouses, forests, you know, the very generic shit. And I'm sure if rappers, it's like cash and titties. That's been done a million times before. So our boy MGK has decided for this video, he was literally throwing hands with some other dude in a car park. And I was mind blown. I was like, is the bar really this low now for creativity? Like, I'm sure you could find some mental director that has some really obscure ideas for music videos. Something like storytelling. I was watching this really great video the other day about album rollouts by a YouTube creator called Nathan Zed. His videos are really fucking cool, but he was saying, you know, album rollouts were an art form. You know, you have like a storyline of music videos to go along with it and blah, blah, blah. Like, the bar used to be so fucking high. But it's like now, like that's not what happens now. And it kind of like it does, but it's very few and far between. And that's why I personally feel like that's where the real artists are. But anyways, so MGK is punching on with some fucking, it's just scrapping with some dude in a car park. And I just could not believe it. I was like, so firstly, his audience are kids, right? I'm sure there is some dumbass kids. I don't know. Maybe they're not dumb anymore because of the internet. But I remember when I was a youngster, you know, going back 25 fucking years ago or whatever, watching punk rock music videos on video hits on a Saturday morning and then switching over to Rage when it got to like 11 a.m. or midday when video hits would finish. And I would see like punk rock music videos of them, you know, jumping on couches and shit. And I was like, fuck yeah, this is what it is, okay? This is what punk rock is. And I used to do that all the time, thinking I was really cool. See, even my cat thinks I was really cool doing that. But also, okay, I can't knock MGK too much, all right? So the song says, punch a motherfucker in the face. And that's what he did. But I'm like, bro, your audience is kids. They're gonna watch this. And like, I don't know, maybe kids are so smart now because of the internet. They're like, oh, we know this is a bit or whatever. But I was like, surely some kids are going to start scrapping in the car park and filming it. Oh my God, that's literally what happened to me when I was like 17, 16. Remember, I don't know if it was like a small town thing or whatever, but I just had a random thought. I just remember like, oh, that's right, it was Never Back Down. The film Never Back Down, where they're always like filming fights and shit, and like that was really big, like what, 12 years ago or something like that. So maybe that's coming around. Maybe I'm dissing MGK the wrong way. But yeah, I don't know. I just found the video fucking stupid, and also the dude's like fucking 30, and it's like, honestly, if you throw one punch, you throw your back out. You know, like you're sore, you can't move much. I don't know. I just didn't get it. I was like, you're trying to show that you're still active? Like, fuck. All right, just go to the gym like everybody else and just shut up about it. So, I don't know. That's my hot take out of the way. As you can tell, I'm a huge MGK fan. Anyways, moving on. So, I am... all right, I'm going to talk about it just for a little bit, because I know, especially if my wife is listening to this, she's going to fucking hate me talking about it. But I've been diving into stonks and, you know, like crypto, like very recently crypto. Made some investments and I'm like, oh shit, okay, there's like actually money here. But the problem is that I've found when it's come to researching stocks and investors and all this other fucking bullshit, which mind you, oh God, I could do a whole video about how cringy all these guys are. But the main point, the main takeaway from it is they don't fucking blink. I've been watching these videos on like, you know, it's like the Gary V types and all these crazy other entrepreneurs. Like they made their millions like 15, 20 years ago, and now all they're doing is just saying buzzwords and getting paid like 20 grand for every buzzword that they fucking say online. And if they come up with a new one, that's probably like 100 grand that they get paid for it. So it's all it is now. It's just buzzwords because when you, at the core of it, when you think about it, when it comes to investments, business, and all that type of stuff, the core principles are the same. And they're very, very straightforward to be successful in business and investments and all that type of shit. But the problem is like there's too many unique experiences out there. They can't cater for all of them. So that's where all that issues come from, and that's why I think a lot of them are fucking useless, because all they do is just say buzzwords and you're supposed to believe them. But I've been watching their videos because I've just been studying a lot about cryptocurrency lately as well, and it's crazy how much they just don't blink. And I'm like, surely like the more millions you've got, the less blinks that you take in a day. It's fucking weird, man. I think Cody or Noel made a video about how like basically all these rich people, that's all they do is just talk really fast, talk really loud, and just say shitload of buzzwords. Oh, and swear a lot. Yeah, swearing a lot, because they want to show that they're cool. They're like cool entrepreneurs. But yeah, that's I had one more thing I was gonna say about that, and I'm fucking slipping, mate. I'm fucking slipping. But yeah, that's what I'm not. That's right. This is what I was going to go on about. So I made a TikTok, which I think most millennials can relate to, which I basically said, I'm almost 30. I've been working basically full time because I'm a freelancer. It's not always like, I guess it's full time once it fucking evens out or whatever. And then I was saying, I follow all the gurus and what they say, make your food, make your own coffee, don't spend shitload of money and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, and I'm still poor. And when I say that is, our parents' generation, I'm talking if you're getting close to 30, relax if you're in your early 20s, it's probably different for your parents. But my parents' generation, by now, it's like they've got houses and they've got families and shit, and they've really got their life sorted. And I was like, I'm still poor. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, sure, I can pay my bills and I've got a little bit of spending money and a little bit of savings, but in the grand scheme of things, I'm still poor compared to past generations. And I was just expressing my frustrations with it. And the comment section is wild because I hashtagged it like finance guru or something like that, because I was just making fun of financial gurus. And I thought it was just going to be probably fucked up on my delivery, mind you. It was very stale. It's like, I don't understand why a lot of people thought, oh, this guy's being for real. There is an element of that. But the thing, oh my God, some of the comments blew my mind. So I had one dude comment, "You've got to stop thinking poor." And I was like, oh, great. I should have applied that to my depression and anxiety. Warwick, stop being so depressed. Oh, that anxiety attack you had like last week. You just got to stop thinking like that, bro. And I was like, oh shit. All of my mental health issues and from all the trauma in my life has just disappeared instantly. I can get a refund on all of my therapy sessions now. Thanks, Bozo69420 on TikTok. But some of the comments were crazy. They were just saying shit like, oh, you almost work full time? See, that's your problem, man. I work 100 hours a week and all this blah, blah, blah. And I was like, fucking good on you. By the way, this is not funny, what I'm saying right now. This shit's going to get kind of real for a second. So if you don't like that one, too fucking bad. You're in this for the ride. So I promise it will get funny eventually. But the thing that pisses me off about motherfuckers that say this type of stuff online is they don't understand how the real world works. To say that you can work 100 hours and you can hustle and you can fucking pick up all these other hobbies and all this type of shit, that is such a privileged position to be in. And that's why I always tell the people, no matter how burnt out I am and frustrated about my workload and my career and whatever, I understand how fucking privileged I am to be doing what I'm doing. I understand it's a very small percentage of people in the grand scheme of things that can do what I do. So I never take what I do for granted. But the thing that kind of pisses me off about all these people saying that is just like, yeah, they don't understand how privileged it is to be able to do that. There are people out there in the real world who have sick relatives and they can't commit to extra activities to, expand their money and investments and all that type of shit. Some people are disabled themselves and can't work, can't commit to a higher workload and all this stuff. But these people, from probably generational wealth and just a very privileged position in general, that think, oh, what do you mean, man? Like, just work your full-time job, save some money, and then on the side, just hustle, bro. Just hustle. What are you doing? It's like, no, that's not how the real world works, dude. I'm sorry to tell you that. So that's my rant, man. I don't know. Just find what you fucking love and try to commit as much time to it as possible. I'm very fortunate in the sense that because of my career path, I figured out I wanted to do this in high school. So I already had a head start. I fucking studied it when I came home from school. And then obviously when I wasn't working my casual jobs and shit. And then I went to film school for it. So yeah, I check my privilege, I'm the same motherfucker. Don't forget that. All right, moving on. Speaking of the older you get, something that I've learned, okay, the older you get, the more people I've realized are drug dealers. It is crazy. At first, it was like the amount of people that did cocaine, right? I was kind of mind blown as the older you get, how common it is. Everyone does cocaine. Everyone. But the thing that I'm starting to learn is there are so many more people that I know that are drug dealers, and they're just regular people that just live amongst us, but they've just got their own side hustle. Sorry, I take back what I said before about side hustles. Just become a drug dealer. It's easy as that. Seems to be the trend. So, Gary from IT is probably your local weed dealer. Oh, Sarah from upper management? Yeah, she swings bags on the weekend, she didn't get a bonus this year, so she's just making up some side cash, to make up for it. Yeah, I don't really know what the purpose of that was. I don't know how that thought came about, but I'm sure there are people that are my age that can feel that on a personal. I don't even know how that came about. I think I was, yeah, I don't know. Wow, that made me sound like I was going to say something incriminating, but I didn't. I honestly don't know how that thought came about, but there are a lot of people met that I'm like, oh. And then there's no shame in it as well. I'm just kind of like, again, like I just understand. It's like, fuck, man, you got to do what you got to do to provide for you and your peeps if you have to. It's a risky. I don't know how it works with taxes. But I understand it. I respect it to an extent. So, yeah. That's a big change from when I was 15, going to hardcore shows and all that was when straight edge was really big. I guess straight edge is still big. I don't know. But there was hoodies that said "Kill your local drug dealer." Fuck, man, that was funny as, or not funny as hell. Because I understand that subculture. But I just remember going to hardcore shows and seeing that, and I'm like, man, where we were from, that's half the people that live there. You know what I mean? I was like, man, that's mass genocide at that level. All right. I better move on before I say something that I probably shouldn't or get in trouble. Whatever. Yeah. Oh, well, fuck, man. I was supposed to say this. I was supposed to say this early on, but I'll say it now. I don't care. As I'm saying, I'm just working a lot now. But the problem is a whole bunch of other industries are going back to work. If you're overseas or whatever listening to this, basically Australia is basically back to normal. Everyone's basically working in offices again, which has made traffic a fucking nightmare because nobody wants to get public transport. And I can understand that. I got the train last week, I think it was, and it was I got a seat. That never happens in Melbourne. You normally have to cram in there unless you get a train at 6 a.m. So I was surprised at how dead the trains are. But yeah, there's so many more cars on the road. Do you know what the worst part is? It's like every time I talk to a client and shit like that is the center point of basically all conversations. It's just how bad the traffic is now. And I'm like, I feel like a fucking boomer every time. I'm like, oh yeah, like had a pretty good run this morning though. It only took me half an hour instead of 45 minutes normally. Oh wow, yeah, lately it's been like that. No, God, I just want to fucking I don't even know why it's so infuriating. I just find it very infuriating that is now the conversations. And yeah, I just feel like a boomer. I was like, can we just talk about anything else? Oh fuck, man. You know what I'm going to say? I'm going to tell this story. I'm going to tell this story because I need to make up for the real shit I said before. So I hope you are still listening because this is a pretty funny story. I'm not mentioning names. I'm not mentioning fucking nothing. But I was no, yeah. I was on set. Was it last week or week before? I can't remember. Someone on set who I've never met before. So I'm not putting it up to who the person was or anything like that. You can leave it up to your own fucking imagination. Someone wanted to talk a lot about my name. Okay, so I don't understand this person's mentality. All right, so I'm going to start from scratch. I was on set. I met this person, and they said to me, oh, yeah, your name is, I said, my name is Warwick. Nice to meet you, blah, blah. So we're doing our thing. We're shooting, whatever. So we're shooting. They made a very specific comment about they didn't say something a bit specific about my name, but basically when I said, hey, I'm Warwick, nice to meet you, they said, oh, Warwick, that's an unusual name. And I thought, not really that much of an unusual name, but whatever, I didn't think anything of it. Moved on. So we're there, we're filming, blah blah. It's about half an hour, and then they turned to me and they said, Warwick, where's that name from? And I thought, it's a bit weird. Well, I didn't realize we're gonna talk about my name while we're on set trying to do a job here. But I was like, I don't know. It's like an old traditional English name. I guess I got it from that with like my heritage. Like, I don't know. Don't ask my fucking dad what my name means or anything like that. And they said, oh, okay. And then go back to filming. About half hour later, they come back to me and they said, yeah, so where do you think that came from, that name? Like, what is the meaning? And it was funny as fuck. All right, so my director, he is just as sarcastic as I am. And he said, oh, I think it means warrior. Just dry as fuck, right? Like, the delivery was really dry, but the sarcasm was there. At least for me, it was obvious anyways. And then this person said, oh, warrior, Warwick, warrior. Yeah, I see that. My director and I give each other these eyes like, what the fuck is going on? And then, again, this same thing happens. Go back to shooting. About, 15 minutes later or something like that, they come back to me again. So, how do your parents came up with that name and all this stuff for you? And in my head, I was like, what the fuck is going on? I don't think Warwick is that unusual of a name. Two, this has been like 2.5 hours now, and you have come up to me sporadically within these 2.5 hours to talk about my name. I just did not understand it at all. So I just said some throwaway comment of, I said, my mum named my brother, so then it was up to my dad to name me, which I'm pretty sure is the fucking story. And they said, oh, and they were kind of disappointed about it. But when I said that, my director looked at me and was trying so hard. I could see it in his eyes. He was trying so hard not to piss himself laughing because we're both like, what is happening right now? Anyways, days go by and we're editing together. I think it was for that project or another one. I don't know. And I said, hey, do you want to talk about this client that was talking about my name? And he was like, oh my God, I forgot about that. And no, sorry, he said, I've been thinking about that all week, because I was thinking about it all week. I was like, I don't understand how this came about, where it started, or anything like that. But for some reason, I could not stop thinking about the situation. Mainly, how do you function as a human being? Because, you know, I don't want to like say that as in a disrespectful way, but it just blew my mind of how different other people's minds work. So yeah. Oh, and if you're wondering, I don't know what Warwick means either. I just got the name, you know, that's just how it is. I should probably ask, because my brother and sister have pretty regular ass names, but I don't think Warwick is that unusual of a name unless you're from like America, basically, because when I was working there, no one knew what the fuck my name was. But yeah, it's all in good fun, but that was something absolutely hilarious. And I guess like in moments where things have been really stressful and doing like back-to-back projects and everything, that's what you just get one of those moments and you're like, you know what, I'm doing okay, because my mind doesn't think what is someone's name and analyzes it and like the meaning behind it. No shade if you're like that. I just found it bizarre, because I don't think I've ever had that discussion before in my life. So I've normally had, Warwick Kappa, like the footy player. I'm like, nah, I'm good. So yeah, that was that. All right, last topic, last one. I'm gonna talk about some weird shit that I've seen, some white people stuff. You know, because white people are the easiest to make fun of. So I watched a video. Now, to preface this, I filmed my proposal. It was obviously a surprise proposal, but I filmed it like secretly. I did the whole, I'm taking a photo, but I'm filming the whole time. It's, man, I tell you what, trying to have another creative is risky as fuck. I was shitting myself the whole time because Caitlin knew the sound of the shutter. And she actually said, why isn't the shutter going off? And I had to pull a quick one. I was like, it's like the silent shutter mode. And in my head, I was like, fuck, she knows the silent shutter mode still makes it sound. So anyways, I was doing the whole like posing for a photo. And then I was like, I love you. And then boom, bust out the ring. She will never let anyone see that video, but I really want to show it at some point in my life. We probably will, like much later down the track or anything. Only because her reaction was really funny. But that's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to get divorced or anything. So maybe one day I'll post that. But since then, you know, like I've seen a bunch of proposal videos, some cringy, some great, but this would have to take the cake of by far the cringiest shit that I've ever seen in my life in terms of proposal. And of course it was white people shit. Says the dude that's pale as fuck, but you know, white people are just stupid. Anyways, this guy by far did the craziest proposal, and it was on TikTok. So he called the police and pretended that the dude had like a warrant for his arrest, and it did like a routine like traffic stop, ran the dude's license and whatever, and they found out in quotation marks that this dude is a felon and he's got a warrant for his arrest. So like, get out of the car and all this stuff. I'm pretty sure they almost like drew guns as well. Like I think that like the cops were really into it. Maybe a bit too much. Maybe the cops actually thought this dude was a felon. But anyways, they pull him over and that's the whole setup. They're like, miss, we need to talk to you and stuff. And they're interrogating her for some reason. And by the way, there's like 3 cop cars and like 6 cops. Okay, this is like all out in terms of like a police raid. Okay, it's like this is what I think cops in America do when they pull over someone and they find them with like a quarter of weed or some shit like that. They get all these. They're like, "Fuck, quick! This kid's got weed." Anyways, so they're like, yeah, miss, come over here and talk to us. And then I think they've cuffed him as well. So yeah, very serious shit. And then while they're talking to her, he is staying behind her, obviously. And then they uncuff him, and he gets on one knee, do the whole proposal, and the cops were in it the whole time. And I was like, why are white people like this? This does not need to happen. Out of all the situations you could have thought of to propose to your partner, and you chose this one, I just did not understand. It was completely unfathomable to me, and I'm so glad I didn't pull that shit when I proposed to my wife. Like, that just, oh my god. So what are some crazy proposal stories you've heard of or even had? I'd like to hear them. You can send me an email at matesracepod@gmail.com, and I would like to review them. So yeah, I saw that. I see a lot of that shit. Like, not a lot of that stuff specifically, but just like a lot of dumb shit on TikTok. And I'm like, I just don't have faith for the human race. But it's all come from white people. So it's just like, whatever. Just let them be cringy, I guess. But yeah, thank you. That's kind of it for the episode. I just want to wrap it up by saying I do have some shit kind of happening in the works. I haven't touched my YouTube channel all fucking year. I'm still getting a lot of hate, mixed comments, on the Tony Robbins is a scam artist video that I did fucking 8 months ago now, or 6 months ago. But basically, I've got ideas for my YouTube channel and stuff, and now that things are kind of leveling out, like, it's getting kind of towards the middle of the year, things will be a little bit more easy to do more creative stuff on. I'm not saying big things coming or anything like that, but if you do follow my main YouTube channel, I'm pretty sure it's just youtube.com/WarwickHughes. I'll be posting stuff there pretty soon, so I hope you enjoy that. And in the meantime, if you have enjoyed this episode, you can head on over to iTunes, not Spotify, iTunes, and give it a 5-star rating. And if you are watching on YouTube, remember to like, comment, and subscribe. I don't know why I sung that. Fuck yeah, that's my cringy white dude moment of the day. But other than that, I hope you motherfuckers are staying safe. Especially, a lot of my overseas friends are getting the jab now. So I hope their 5G speeds are really up to scratch, because I'm keen for mine to be really fast, because the NBN sucks. But I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you've all been well, and I swear to God, I better fucking be here next week. All right, peace and love. I'll catch us on the flippity flop. Bye, love. I'm actually just kind of panning this out for my timer to be 38 minutes, which will be, I think, in about 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, that's it. And that's kind of like the outtake for this one. All right, love yous, bye.